Let me ask you this. Do you believe that the problem became, this is a genuine question, the problem became so large in scope that people said, okay, this is enough, we have to do something? Or do you believe that this is something people believed before and they felt they couldn't say because they were accused of being a racist? Well, I don't know if you know this, but dealing with immigration is no longer racist. It's a problem that needs to be dealt with. It's time for O Canada. Oh, I'm sorry, no Canada, because it's funnier. So let me set this up for you. Trudeau released a video on his social. Let's talk, Canada.
Oh, geez.
About how immigration is now a problem. And you're seeing this shift. Take a guess. Comment below. Have you noticed that it's okay now to discuss this problem where you don't have to bring it up and people go, actually, undocumented persons. You can just say, look, we have a problem with illegal immigration, illegal aliens. People go, yeah, okay. And you can now at least discuss how we deal with it. Trudeau is even doing that now. Same guy who accused Donald Trump of being racist not that long ago, laying out his new policy. Sorry, right clip, but here's another one.
Immigration. Let's talk about it. In the last 2 years, our population has grown really fast, like baby
That's got
boom fast.
BuzzFeed music.
Increasingly,
You know, serious.
bad actors like fake colleges and big chain corporations have been exploiting our immigration system for their own interests. So we're doing something major. We're reducing the numbers of immigrants that will come to Canada for the next 3 years. Today, I'm going to let you in on what happened, where we made some mistakes, and why we're taking this big turn.
So let me give you an idea. Yes, he is correct. 97% of Canada's population growth last year was from immigration.
It's not even illegal immigration. It's just
immigration. So when people say, well, we're a land of immigrants. No, not 97% of the population growth should be coming from immigrants. What do you think is a reasonable number? Less than half? Isn't less than half a reasonable number?
I would say less than the babies being boomed.
Yes. That would be a good number.
If you're going to call it baby boomer era growth, then I think there should be babies booming.
Yes.
It's got to be like a 2-3 to 1 ratio of the babies born there versus ones brought over.
Do you know the number? Again, references available at link in the description, louderwithcrowder.com. 3 million in just 3 years, their migrant population.
Where are these people
It went up by 3 million. That's almost 8% of the total population of Canada.
Oh, how many of them are Americans?
No, fleeing from Donald Trump. No, I really want to know, like, what African countries are sending people en masse to Canada?
Well, actually, a lot of the Haitians are leaving Ohio. Did you see that? They're leaving Ohio. Some of them are going to Canada.
Yeah, for the French Quebec.
Yep, some of them are. Yeah, Haitians. It makes sense. We have a huge Haitian population. Yeah. So let's go through some claims and the truth. And again, the references are available. The claim that Trudeau wants to make here is, of course, rather than take accountability, the left is allergic. I mean, they have a condition. They are accountability intolerant, where he has to blame the immigration problem not on the government who created the policy. It's the corporations, something businesses.
Some saw that as an opportunity to profit, to game the system. Really? I've seen way too many large corporations doing this.
Yeah, who incentivized them?
The program has been used to get around hiring Canadian workers in some instances.
Well, here's the truth.
Deal with it.
It actually is the fault of the Canadian left, of the Liberal Party. Trudeau's policies directly admitted millions of immigrants. And this is one of those things where they just try and blame something that's always been there.
Yeah.
Right? This is something to look out for. When you heard Biden call it shrinkflation, he's going, it's the corporations. They're being greedy. Okay, so they decided to get greedy in a way that actually forces them to lose their market share to whatever varying degrees. Only in the last 3 years, the Lay's potato chip company said, hey, how can we piss off our customers and actually make less profit? I know, we'll shrink down the bags and charge more. And they only decided to have that brilliant business idea in the last 3 years. Same thing with immigration. Hold on a second. Okay. So only in the last 3 years, corporations decided, light bulb moment, hey, we can bring in a bunch of cheap immigrant labor. No. Again, what changed? Corporations have always been there in Canada. Corporations have always been here in the United States. So, for example, under Trump, you saw 3 million that we know of, right? Illegal border crossings or apprehensions. And then anywhere from 15 to 20 million under Harris Biden, depending on the source you use. What changed? What changed? Oh, that's right. It's policy. And not only that, you were actually touting this policy as loudly and as frequently as you could, which brings us to then and now. Okay, so it shouldn't be a problem, right, if corporations are at fault anyway, because back then, Prime Minister Trudeau said that immigrants regardless, were the foundation of Canada.
How am I going to go on this one? Canada is a country that was built by immigration. Canadians are justifiably proud of our immigration system. It has made our economy the envy of the world.
3 weeks ago.
It's how we've built strong, diverse communities. And as a federal government, we have to make sure that that pride,
I thought that was a
faith
joke.
in immigration is not undermined. We continue to pursue our policies of openness towards immigration and refugees without compromising security.
Openness. Okay, got it. Which brings us to now, of course, Trudeau is backtracking. His immigration minister said this on immigrants. He said, "We are an open country, but not everyone can come to this country." Well, hold on a second. What does that mean?
Because the number one country, they said this in, so it's India, China, and then, so those kind of make sense, right? But the third one doesn't. Afghanistan?
Afghanistan?
Like, I'm not sure why you're bringing over a lot of Afghanis.
Well,
they worked with the Canadians in Kandahar quite extensively.
Okay, but that's like, you
I
send
think a big reason is because there were bans on countries that were hotbeds of terrorism, and the United States at one point in time said, "Hey, you know what? We have to be careful." And Canada said, "You're the foundation of our country. Come on over."
Hold my beer.
India, they've seen a run on student driver stickers for cars.
Yes, exactly.
Come on over. No, leave your wives and your families in Afghanistan.
That's right.
Leave them there. Come here by yourself, and you're with your own values.
That's right. Middle-aged man of military age, fighting age, with no wife or children. What's that I hear? A ticking suit? Come on.
Which, by the way,
Here's a foundation
to
of
be fair,
Canada.
middle-aged over there is like 23.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, their life expectancy is not so great because of all the kaboom. Now, let's go back to then, because it's not just policy, but it's policy that was predicated on, again, the culture, right? I don't know if you remember this, but Donald Trump back in 2016, and we've seen a shift. When he said these people are, not sending their best, when he was talking about Mexico.
Not sending their best.
And he was talking about also criminals. Back then, Donald Trump was super, super racist. You couldn't say any of the things that you all believed.
And all in the name of what? Safety? Security? That's what Trump sells it as, but it's really a product of racism.
Let's talk about some things that you may not think are quite as funny right now. Donald Trump, what's it say?
I think he's a racist.
So what Donald Trump has said, stated, and lived by are very racist, very xenophobic lifestyle.
44% say he is motivated on immigration by racist beliefs, motivated in what he's doing on the border by racist beliefs.
So, Donald Trump, this was the culture, right? It was all racist, and that was the basis for the laws that saw record numbers of illegal immigrants. Well, This brings us to now. And this is what I'm most excited about with this election. Sure, we're going to see an economy that should improve significantly, but we're seeing culturally the shift where now people don't have to be ashamed to have these conversations, because right now you see most Americans supporting deportation and building a wall. So the United States, 62% of Americans support deporting illegal immigrants. 53% of Latinos support deporting illegals. And 53% of Americans support building, full stop, a border wall. Right now, here's Canada. 2/3 of Canadians believe that the government is letting in far too many people. So what do we see here? We see a cultural shift where, and let me ask you this, do you believe that the problem became, this is a genuine question, the problem became so large in scope that people said, okay, this is enough, we have to do something? Or do you believe that this is something people believed before and they felt they couldn't say because they were accused of being a racist?
Of course. I think it's people have just gotten emboldened because of the results, right? We were talking about this years ago, and we were saying, look, just look at what Europe did. Europe has become an absolute mess with immigration, right? And that's the kind of policy that we're trying to implement here. And people looked around and said, no, we have to be tolerant, but we'll see. And then you see the results of it. And I think, honestly, it comes down to when Texas and Florida started busing migrants. It was one of the turning points for people to be like, okay, in blue cities, people going, all right, this is ridiculous. Like Martha's Vineyard kept them for 5 hours or something like that before they bust them onto their next location, and thank God they can all get out of there. I am so glad this thing turned on a dime, but we've been right the entire time. Do not let them come in and be like, oh, there's new information. There's not new information.
Right. There's not.
This has been known from the beginning. You guys had terrible policies. You're not doing it about face because you wanted to. You're doing it because your citizens are about to throw you out on the front lawn with pitchforks and
Well, I also think something, people are not just saying, hey, illegal immigration is a problem. I think people now feel free to say, you know what? You just looked at that list in Canada. I believe it was India, Pakistan. Were these
India, China,
Afghanistan.
Was,
Same thing in the States, right? A lot of people are going, hey, look, yeah, people want to come, but you know what? We're not even talking about illegal immigration at this point. A bunch of people coming from India, if they're coming here from India and they're not actually being absorbed into the culture and they're just sending money back to families there and they change these neighborhoods, they don't put up decorations for Halloween, they don't take part in Christmas, they're not friendly with their neighbors. You know what? I don't really think that you should be benefiting from the system here. Sorry.
No, they're fleecing us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even people doing it legally through the system. Yep. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Not just no more illegal immigration, but we're tired of you fleecing. We're tired of you bitching about how the United States, or in this case, Canada, what an awful Western patriarchal civilization it is, while reaping the benefits. Don Cherry, what he said about I'm trying to remember. I always get them. It's you guys don't have Remembrance Day in the States, right? That's Canada. Okay, Remembrance Day, they wear the poppies.
The poppies.
And he's a famous hockey commentator. I'm sure they can pull that clip where he said, if you're going to come here, wear a poppy. You want to be in the land of milk and honey, you're welcome to come here, but you show support for the people who died for your right to be here and live free. Wear a damn poppy. That's what they do. It's like putting up the American flag because of Flanders Field. He was fired for that. They said it was racist. He could say it right now, and 2/3 of Canadians would say, here, we agree with you. And you know what? Good to see Canada finally shifting a little bit. That's been this installment of No Canada. And Trudeau's one of those guys where when he's gone, everyone can probably breathe a breath of just deeply of fresh air.
Man.
Hey, if you like this video, you're still here. Click there. Click there to watch more rebuttals, takedowns, and claim and truth videos where they're pretty self-explanatory in the title. I don't know what the thumbnail is. It's not salacious, is it? Maybe a little. That's ideal.